Today on Stage Zero Garage, we're not working on old cars, we're working on new cars. Specifically this 2013 Mini Countryman S, which today needs oil sensor switch replacement. She's getting a red light comes on, the oil light comes on, the red one, if she stops suddenly, especially when it's really cold. And sometimes on acceleration, again, it's worse as it's colder, but we're going to replace that and make that go away. And then I also am noticing there's a lot of oil splatter here. But in order to get to that sensor, it's underneath this vacuum pump. So I'm going to take this off, this stuff off. And then while I'm in there, I'm going to change the oil in the filter, because changing the filter on these is really hard to do. And I had to come back once from a place and it was damaged. The filter itself, after I took it out, it was all crushed because it's hard to get it in right. And then you put the cap on and then you can crush it. So that's on the agenda for today. First, I'm going to clean this up and I'm going to check this and see what's going on here. Well, not sure what's going on there, but this thing is filled with oil. All right, so I have this all cleaned out. Let it run a little bit, rubbed it up, all the smoke's gone, so it's clean exhaust. Next, we'll start taking all this stuff off. Oh, that was under pressure. I forgot I repaired this. Should probably remedy that. T25, yeah. So this vacuum pump is one of a couple different kinds. We lost this one once before, but there's like this little plastic piece that goes in there, and then when that fails, sometimes it just breaks. And that's when you lose your vacuum and your, I think it brake line's the only thing that it really like feeds. But instead of buying a really expensive one, I bought a cheap Chinese one. Instead of a Bosch one, I got something cheap, and I just replaced this piece. So, and it's probably good that they do it that way, because I think previously it was like a metal thing, and if there was any sort of like breakage, the cam is connected to this, and that's what spins it around. And I imagine that would take out the camshaft.
Howdy.
Yeah. What? Oh.
Oh. Trying to put it on upside down.
Well, yeah, actually that's what it was doing, and an 8 just happens to be the right size to fit on the socket and not be loose, but not go into the bolt.
Kitchen clean and pick up. I got downstairs bathroom clean and pick up. Did you do the oil change?
No, I'm just doing this first. Yeah, I just pulled the reservoir off, let that drain out. I don't recall how you can get this off. There's my filter, so that's nice and close. And yeah, I'm gonna take, just got another, I got this one out. Oh, there's the other one. I think there's just the one right there. Oh, okay, just comes out. And keep in mind, so in order for that to go back in, oh, that's why it's good to have that off too. For that to go back in, it has to be in the same position, so it can go back into the cam shaft. So I'll probably take that off so I can spin it if I can't get it in easily. And it's time to put it back together. have to remove this boost pressure gauge thing. Boo, boo. One thing to consider, if you haven't been in this area for, well, if it's no one's ever been in it and it's a high mileage, there's a good chance you're going to start breaking things like, or finding that things are cracked, like this little junction here, and then the thermostat housing. That's all plastic, and that'll start cracking if you start stressing any of these pieces. You might just find that they're gonna, okay, that's not working. That they're gonna start cracking on you. Crack-a-locking. I don't know how well that's going to go back in. Probably not easy. I'm pleased that there only have been 2. Now, what is it? Oh, it's hard. There you go. I think I don't know if there's a way to tell if these are good or not, but this one seems like it's fine. I think that's it. Right there. Can you see it? Yeah. You can see it, but I can barely see it. Anyway, yeah, trust that it's there. Because it moved. I was able to get this 15/16 from this stupid sensor is so buried. Come on. There we go, come on.
Aw. Finally came in to say I was supposed to need cat food. And then this is the cat that chose the food with it. And she just looks just like Gremlin the Bleep Cat. I don't know if you're
I don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Bleep Cat is on Facebook.
The Bleep Cat? Does it swear?
Bleep? Because he always does this.
Blap Cat?
Blap. Yeah. Bleep.
You said it wrong.
Oh my god.
No, you messed it up. You're stupid.
Did I mention yet today that I don't like your car?
uses all cage-free eggs.
You don't need to cage eggs.
Well, the chickens.
No, the chickens are caged. It's just the eggs are fine.
Well, it said it weird.
I'm just saying, maybe that's what they're trying to make it sound like they're being responsible. If they're cage-free eggs. And there it goes. Oh, it's not a spark plug. It's the oil sensor that I said I was going to replace. Now I can tell it's bad because of the way that it is. I feel like I should get in there and clean off that surface, but I don't even know if I can get there. There. Cleaned. You know, I bet if I take that oil filter off now, I'll have just a little bit more room. Worst oil change in the world. What size is that? Kitty.
I know.
Not 25. 27. Get it. Let's see how many minutes it takes me to get this thing threaded. Oh, that was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. That was going to be one of those situations where it's just trying it for like an hour. Like I've had to do with your oil filter from when all the stuff is still attached. In particular, there's like one coolant line that's just always in the way. All right. All right, well, I can't use that end. I'm not giving any. I see what I need to do. Got that out of the way finally. It was attached there. We have a little bit more room in there. Oh, son of a... God, broke the freaking thing. All right, well, I'm gonna get that out. That's... and order another one. Jesus Christ. All right, next day, got another one. This one looks cheaper and it costs more, of course, but I had to get it so I could get it next day from Amazon. So what I'm doing is I'm actually trying to, you know, get it lined up with the tools and the attachments and whatever else to try to get it to work. So I brought this back in just at my other location, so I think that might help a little bit better. But I think I'm also going to take this hose out, or move it so that it's out of the way, because you get a little more action there, leverage. I can get in here with this better, so we'll try that. Alright, so doing a test run, that actually was quite helpful, so moving this out of the way helps, and you should be able to get in there much easier. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, I think that's hopefully tight enough. Now, installation is reverse of removal. Yeah, that went in. Okay, let's keep the water out of the filter. And that has to go just right, or it won't go. There you go. Filter's in nice and snug. We got two plugs here. Two plugs or just one plug? Logan's, yeah. This thing was a little bit of a difficult one to get in, so you leave the cover off and you have to make sure that's in the right position, and you can turn it if you need to. And then I put this back in, but it was a tight fit getting it in. Alright, next is to put these two bolts in. There's the one down here, these 8mm, and this one goes up here. Snug. All right. So I'm just going to do a double check, make sure that everything is connected. So I have this bolt and this bolt in for this. They're tight. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are tight. There's 3 bolts in here. They are tight. And I have the lines down here. The oil sensor is plugged in. This blue thing is plugged back in. This is plugged in. That was that one that I didn't know what it was. Then this harness, luckily it's got the wire memory, so I knew that this goes there, this goes there, That goes there, and then these will go into this intake here, which I need to replace or fix. Well, I need to replace it, but I'm going to fix it with Gorilla Tape. And someday I'll repair it. I mean, someday I'll replace it. So that's all. But Cindy is not recording me going through that anymore, and she's left. I fixed this once before with tape, and she doesn't know that it was already broken. And I fixed it once and forgot to replace it. So, according to her, and luckily she doesn't watch my videos because she doesn't like car stuff, so it'd be too boring for her to waste her time watching. So, I'm gonna fix it again. Wrapped it 3 times with the Gorilla Tape and put that on and give it a try, see if it works. Not just that fix, but the whole thing. See if the car works. Goes that way. All right. Okay, check number 2. This is connected and tightened. That one down there is connected and tightened. This is connected. That's tight. That's tight. This is on. Dun. This one's in. And just need oil now. So one thing I did for the oil for the dipstick on this was I added those 2 little notches because it's a lot easier, because I can tell when those fill up a lot better than trying to read this stupid dipstick. Well, not a problem now because it's full. So it's only 4 quarts. I'll run it and then recheck it. I don't remember what it's supposed to take. Alrighty. Let's see if I... So one thing I have for this is called Fixed. She got it for me. It's it plugs into the port, and is C3E2 engine. Alright, well, whatever. Probably because I'm thinking that vacuum. That's probably created through the valve cover. Valvetronics monitoring sluggish movement. I don't know what that means. So, these are new ones, different. So, I guess we'll close her up and take it for a spin. But yeah, this is kind of nice. It's free. There's no there. You can get a service and pay for it. I don't know. It's like $99 a year for premium. But it is useful. So with that, I think that's enough for this one. Thanks for coming along and watching me struggle with this stupid oil sensor. Anyway, thanks, and another successful repair of the Mini. So take care and see you next time.